What's up? I'm David Burns, EAS Certified Master Beekeeper. Nice to be with you again for another beekeeping video. And today we're going to talk about a queen excluder. And today we're going to answer some tough questions about this thing. Primarily, is it worth it or is it worthless? And it all starts right now. Well, I don't know, when you get around a bunch of beekeepers and you start talking about this queen excluder, you hear things like, oh, I never use one because it's a honey excluder. Or you hear some of them say, I always use one, or else my queen's going to get up there and lay eggs all up in my super and ruin my chances of getting a good honey super full of honey. I'm going to get brood up there. And then there comes in these important questions that I want to answer today. And that is, when do you put it on? How do you put it on? Now, I know some of you are like experienced beekeepers and you're probably thinking like, oh, I know how to do all that. There's some newbies watching, and I've had some of them put this between the two deep bodies in the brood nest area. So I've got to address it for those that are new and unfamiliar with the strategic placement and when to put this queen excluder on, and even if it's worth it. Also, I'm going to let you know when you should not use the queen excluder. I'm going to tell you about a cool use for this that you probably don't know about that's very valuable. Also, somewhere in this video, I'll be telling you about a free giveaway of our online ultimate beekeeping course. So watch for that. Now let's jump right into the video about this queen excluder. And let's start answering the question that's on everyone's mind.
Is it a honey excluder?
Well, it is actually, because obviously it's going to be a little tougher for all of your bees to walk through this. The way this works is the gaps are small enough to keep the queen out, but large enough to allow the workers to go up and down into that honey super. And that way the queen doesn't go up and lay eggs in your honey super. So that's one of the benefits of using this queen excluder. The downside of using it is it does exclude the rapid ability for the bees to go up into that super, either to start building some of the comb out to put the honey in or the nectar in, or just to get through it. Drones get trapped in it. So there's kind of a trade-off about which one is better than the other. Do I take a chance, leave it off, and get a little bit of brood or a bunch of brood in my honey super? Or do I go ahead and put it on, taking the chance that I won't get as much honey because it does restrict the flow of bees going in and out? That is a trade-off that you'll have to use. Here's the way I get around it. Here's the best way I've decided to use this queen excluder. I like to put my honey supers on without it at first, and especially if it's undrawn foundation. That means there's no wax that's been drawn out on those frames, and so I like to leave it off until the bees have a chance to go up there a little bit and start drawing out some of that comb. Now, as soon as the bees draw some of that comb out, guess what happens? You got it. The queen is right there to start laying eggs. That's a problem. So I have to go up into that super as soon as they start drawing out some wax without a queen excluder, and I have to physically pick up the queen and move her down and then put my queen excluder there so that she's below it. And now they have taken the hint that they need to keep working that, and the queen stays below. Some people make the mistake of putting this right on top of their brood nest area and putting a new super right on top of this that hasn't been drawn out at all. The problem with that is, again, restricting the workers from flowing easily up into that super can make a lot of frustration in the beekeeper's mind about why aren't my bees pulling out the frames on that honey super. That can be real frustrating. So if you would take the time to go ahead and let them start pulling some of the wax out, and then once they do, slip this under that super, making sure your queen is not up there, moving her down if she is, then that is a good way to take advantage of a queen excluder. Now, I realize some of you are brand new to beekeeping and you're not at all going to touch your queen. I understand that some of you just aren't going to do that. In that case, you might as well take the chance of putting this on and then putting your honey super on, even with undrawn foundation, because if you're not going to play with your queen by handling her, then you may just have a super full of brood. So in your case, if you don't want to manipulate your queen by moving her down, you're going to have to put this on and then put your super above it. We'll go out into the bee yard today in this video, and we're going to actually go to a hive where I did actually not use the queen excluder. They laid a little brood up there, and then I slipped the queen excluder in there, moving the queen down. Let's go check and see if the brood has emerged and they've started backfilling the brood area that they got into with some honey. And then secondly, we're going to go into a hive where we've just allowed them enough time to start drawing out some frames, and we're going to go check, see if the queen's up there, and if she is, well, we're going to move her down. It doesn't matter if she's not. We're going to put the queen excluder on one way or the other. Let's get started. Now, the frames in the middle are the ones that I would think may have some brood on them from a while back when the queen did lay up there. So that brood should have emerged by now, I think. I think it's been long enough. That's kind of what we want to look at. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you're enjoying it. We got lots more to come, a lot of good stuff. Just taking a moment to say, please subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and watch the video all the way through. It helps me so much on the YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much. Let's get back into the video. Start looking at frames. I want to start with this one here, since it's more the one I think had brood on it. Oh yeah, that's not brood. That's all beautiful capped over honey. So you see, you remember if you watch my videos, look at those drones hanging out, that when I looked at it, I had some that had brood on it, and even one comment, one subscriber even said, why does he have brood above a queen excluder? Another subscriber was so nice to say, oh, because they laid a little bit before he moved the queen down and put the queen excluder on. So now we're looking for those frames to see if, did they go ahead and emerge and fill them up with honey. Again, another nice frame of honey. No brood. That could have been one that emerged, and now they're filling it up with nectar. Okay, so our job today is to check out, see if the queen is up in this honey super. If she is, move her down, because now it's time for us to put a queen excluder below this honey super. I've allowed them time to pull out some frames, but that's also giving the queen time to actually lay some eggs up here. And she loves to do that. She loves to lay eggs in freshly drawn out comb. And so our job is to find her, move her down, or be 100% sure she's not up here and drop a queen excluder under this super. Ooh, got some small hive beetle we can put a trap on for. Here's a frame I put in there a couple of days ago making a video. So let's look for the queen and see if the queen is on this frame or this side, underneath the bottom. No. We're going to say no, I don't see her. I'm going to look at this next frame. So what I'm doing right now is kind of time consuming, so I've sped up the video feed. You can watch me do it kind of quickly here, because we're going to do it again a little slower. I can't find my queen up here, but I see evidence that she has laid some brood up here. I'm going to really go through each frame and see if I can see the queen. All right, let's grab our queen excluder. In my case, I'm using a used queen excluder that I've used before, so it's got a little bit of comb and stuff on it, but I need to place it. It's kind of bowing. Let's put the bow this way. Perfect. All right, now let's put our super back on. All right, you know what our job to do now is? We've got to make sure, as we put these frames back in, that the queen is not up on these frames. I'm going to make sure that everything looks good to me. So now, let's start putting the frames back in, but we're going to inspect each one. Queen, queen, queen. This is just an added inspection to know where your queen is or isn't in this case. Got a good frame there that's doesn't have a queen on it. All right, here's one we need to look at. It's pretty doggone crowded. Help me find her, come on. Even those of you that aren't beekeepers, but you enjoy watching my videos, you can help me find the queen. So get your eyes open, start looking. I'm worried that back in this big blob of bees back here, there could be a queen lurking underneath there. Now I see a few drones that are big, but I don't see any queens, or the queen. Look at all that good brood. It will emerge, and once it emerges, it'll be fine. They'll start putting some honey supers. They'll start putting honey in there. All right, not 100% sure about that frame, but I got to be committed, right? And just go ahead and say I don't see her. Let's look at this one. Ooh, another big blob of bees. See if I can spread them out. Helped a little bit. Help me look for her. If we have any kids at home that are watching with their parents, maybe some homeschoolers, help me find the queen. Come on. Let's just ensure she's not up here. I don't see her. Now, if you see her in the video, it's going to be too late because by the time I publish this, she'll be up here laying eggs. Got 4 more frames to look at, so let's stay diligent. Oh, by the way, some of you are interested in getting the free online beekeeping ultimate class that I made. It has 6 courses in it: basic beekeeping, how to get your bees through the winter, how to raise queens. Gosh, how many is that? 3 or 4? It's got a day in the apiary with David, spring management, bunch of cool courses, all bundled into one ultimate beekeeping course. So if you'll leave a comment below, any comment, preferably positive. I'll take constructive criticism, but if you'll leave a comment, then I'll just go through all the comments and randomly pick a winner for our ultimate beekeeping course. Okay, so just leave a comment below. You can say something like, I like your videos, I hope I win the class. Or, hi David. Just a comment. And you could win the ultimate online beekeeping course that I put together. It's all videos you can watch that I teach. It's worth $269 savings for you to get it for free. So that's cool. All right, friends, I'm not seeing her again. We're getting down to the last 2 frames. But I'll have to be honest with you, I am not comfortable. So I'll probably come back here maybe in a week, 7 days, and I'll look for eggs just to make sure she's not up here since I didn't see her. I could open up the 2 deeps down below, but I don't have time for that today. So we're just going to take a chance that she's not above the queen excluder. One more frame to look at with some bees on it. With some bees on right where I need to put my fingers. Come on, queen. Show yourself if you're on this frame. Come out. Clump of bees back here. See if I can wrestle out a queen maybe. Nah, I don't see a queen. Whoops, sorry. Nah, just not seeing the queen there. I think we're okay, I really do. All right, let's put that in here. Make sure we got 10. You always want to count, make sure you have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counted 11. I'm going blind with sweat in my eyes. All right, so good. Well, we didn't find the queen up here, so we were thinking that she's not up here, hoping. And let's put the top back on after we get some bees out of the way of the edge here. Let's make sure the queen's not on our top cover. That would be a trick, wouldn't it, to find her up here and not know it. All right. I don't see her. All right, that drone's out of the way. Yep. Very good. Well, one of the ways that you can use a queen excluder that you may not know about is to help isolate the queen. You notice in this hive here we have 4 boxes, 2 deeps and 2 supers, no queen excluder. Now unfortunately my queen is staying down below this green super. That's working out nice for me. But in the case that if the queen got up here in these 2 supers and started laying and I tried to find her, she wasn't here, I could see eggs, she wasn't here, I could see eggs, she wasn't here, I could see eggs, and the day got hot, the hive got aggressive, I gave up finding the queen. If that happens to you, you can buy 3 queen excluders and put one between each section. One between the 2 deeps, one between the deep and the super, and one between the 2 supers. Now you can wait 10 to 14 days, preferably 12 days, come back and look and see where the brood is. You'll be able to see capped over pupae. Capped over brood's easier to spot. You just check these, any brood, nope, any brood, maybe or nope. And if you see brood here, then you know where the queen is. And what you'll do now is put the hive back together, but take off the 1 deep with the 10 frames and take it away from the hive. Put the hive back together. It's crazy, busy, maybe defensive hive. Now you know where your queen is. She's on 10 frames. Walk away with the deep, maybe to a picnic table somewhere away from the hive, and check the 10 frames. And you can find the queen then and deal with her as you need to, and then bring it back, put it all back together. So this is a great way to use a queen excluder to isolate your queen into a single box. You can find her more easily that way. So many of my Bee Team 6 members have taken advantage of this technique that I've taught them and have found their queen in a defensive colony or a very big hive that on a hot day that they just can't stay out there and do that. So think about that as a new way, a different way to use these queen excluders. Well, okay, to summarize the queen excluder, I'm giving this 80% worth it, 20% not worth it, which means you really need it. I mean, it helps so much, as you can see. If you use it at the right time, like go ahead and let them draw a little bit, but not too much like I did. But you can get up there and get the queen moved down and then put this under a super that's already starting to be drawn out. That's the best way to use it for sure. Or you can use it to isolate a queen in a very defensive hive or a big hive where you're having trouble finding the queen. You can narrow her down to 10 frames. Now some people get a little upset when I try to sell something on my YouTube channels, but beekeeping is the only way I make a living. I don't apologize for it. You make a living at your work, you're proud of your job, you work hard, so do I. So YouTube is a place where I can make a living. So I don't apologize for that. Bees are all that we do, and we make a living on bees. So anyway, if you want to order this online, look at this. You can get an autographed copy of our book, and it'd be fun for you to read. Now this is for the brand new, I don't know if I want to be a beekeeper or not. It's for the beginner. It's just helping you get from, I don't know anything about bees, I'm not sure if I even know anything about getting into beekeeping. Maybe I'll get a book and see if I would like it. That's the kind of book this is. It helps you get going all the way from start to finish to get going with backyard beekeeping. I want to show you a few things. You might see in the background my smoker, how well it burns, and I use this burlap that I buy off Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. I've used it on my hives, smoking my bees, and it's very good. It makes such good smoke. This is my go-to smoker fuel now. I love it. I love burlap. And I wanted to show you my camera. I'm using a Canon M50 for my videos. I actually have 2 of them. And look at this one here. Look at the propolis that's around right up in this area here, just from being able to use it in the field and touching it, the propolis that gets all over it. I'm trying to take care of my equipment, but at the same time, I'm working hard making videos for you, and stuff is getting used, and I'm just sweating, but I love making videos for you. It's my way of saying thanks for being a subscriber to my beekeeping channel. I'm working hard for you, and I hope you'll put a little effort to support me and subscribe to this channel. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm. If you'll give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, watch it all the way through. If you do those 3 things, YouTube will fall in love with me. If you watch it a few minutes and bail out, if you don't give me a thumbs up, and if you don't subscribe, YouTube doesn't really think my channel's doing very well, and I don't really get drawn into their homepage like I want to. So a little bit that you can do to help: subscribe, give me a thumbs up, watch the video all the way through. Would help me a lot. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so we're looking forward to the next Worthless or Worth It. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.